Today I'm going to talk about Module 25, which is about psychoactive drugs. And psychoactive drugs are chemical substances that alter perceptions and moods. And substance use disorder, this is kind of like, um, it's a diagnosis and it's different than just casual drug use. It's when you have like intense cravings and continued use despite adverse effects. So there's the how they diagnose this is they have a DSM, which tells you what you need to be diagnosed with different like mental problems. So if there's like this whole list here, if you have 2 to 3, that means it's mild. 4 to 5 is moderate, and over 6 is, I guess, severe. So um, the criteria would be so using more than you intended to use, wanting to stop or limit your use but being unable to. You kind of like you want to stop but you're too dependent. Um, Spending a lot of time using it or thinking about it. So it's like you if someone's addicted, has substance use disorder, they probably know like exactly how many beers are in the fridge, that type of thing, at any one moment because they're really afraid of running out. Because if they run out, they'll have withdrawal, and then um, it's like a matter of survival for them. They like live off of it. Without it, they can't like function properly because of the withdrawal. So that's kind of why they spend all the time like thinking about it. Their life is like centered on it. Um, Intense craving, failure to complete responsibilities because of use, having problems with like relationships because of it, not being interested in your hobbies anymore, um, continue to use it despite being like risky or dangerous behaviors, tolerance, and withdrawal. So, tolerance is you need more of the drug in order to get the same effects, or like you get kind of used to it and then it doesn't like the same amount doesn't do it for you, so you need more. Withdrawal is when you stop taking it, you feel really sick. So, yeah, that's the list. Um, but interesting if you think about it, what happens if we replace the word substance or drug with phone? Um, this list could also apply. Like, is there like a lot of time spent on it? Are you trying to limit it but you can't? Are you using more than you intended to? Are you just like, oh, I'll just do like a short time on my phone and then oops, 2 hours go by? Are you craving it if you don't have it? Are you like living off of it? Do you like worry if your like charge runs out? Like, do you constantly check like your battery? Is it causing you social problems? Making you disinterested in your hobbies that you used to like? Um, is it hurting your relationships or your ability to like fulfill your responsibilities at school? Anyways, so just something to consider. And addiction isn't like a weakness. Um it's pretty normal for like humans because our brains are like hardwired for rewards. Um, when something feels nice, we want to do it again, and that's kind of why people are addicted to their phones. So it's kind of a good analogy to understand that it's not like somebody is super like stupid or something. It's just our brains are wired for rewards. Things that feel good, they feel good. And if they're harming us, sometimes we keep doing them, um, even though we know that it's not good. Um, because were addicted. Um, and if you're telling, like, thinking they just need to find, like, the motivation to, like, stop doing it, that's kind of like asking them to just spontaneously create some dopamine, because motivation is dopamine. So, and with drugs, like, after you take them, the dopamine goes way down. So that's why there's, like, not very much motivation at all. Yeah, nobody would choose to be addicted. Nobody would, like, choose that. So if it was as easy as just finding the motivation not to live that way, then it wouldn't be such a problem. Um, some more definitions. Addiction is a state of physical or psychological dependence on a drug, and you crave it, and you experience withdrawal from it if you stop using it. Types of drugs: depressants, they slow down the body's function. One example is alcohol. So, something about alcohol is expectancy plays a big role in the way alcohol impacts people. So, they did an experiment where they told people that they had consumed alcohol, like, they gave them a drink and everything. They told them it was alcoholic, and then those people were like, "Oh yeah, like, we feel like happy, or we feel like um, released from, like, any morals. We're just, like, so free to do whatever we want." Um, and then they told them, actually, that was a placebo. Basically, you didn't have any alcohol. And after that, they, like, realized that actually it was their expectations causing all the feelings that they had. And when people do drink, like, actually their expectations could be, like, playing the bigger part of the effects that they do feel. So, very interesting. Sometimes teens will drink when they're feeling lonely, but it's actually, drinking when you're alone doesn't actually make you feel any better, except because of that expectation. Um, so yeah, very interesting. An- Another type of depressants is barbiturates. Sorry, tranquilizers, basically. Um, so these depress neural activity, and they could induce sleep or lessen anxiety temporarily, but if you have too much, it impairs your memory and judgment. Um, Opioids. So opioids lessen pain and anxiety, um, but they're very addictive. So sometimes, like, people will get an addiction to opioids starts when they have an injury, and then they get prescribed painkillers at the doctor. But because they're so addictive, um, that's, like, where it starts. So very dangerous, but yeah, because our body actually creates its own natural painkillers called endorphins. If you remember, this is a neurotransmitter that reduces our feeling of pain. But when you start taking opioids, the body stops producing endorphins, because it's like, oh, like, uh, the opioids are doing it for me. They're doing the job for me. We don't need to reduce endorphins. But then when you stop taking the opioids, you're not either producing endorphins. Um, so then you're, like, feeling a lot of pain because your body isn't producing endorphins, and then you want to take more opioids to make you feel better. But then you just get more addicted, and then it's, like, harder and harder to stop. So, yep, pretty dangerous. Stimulants, they excite neural activity, and they speed up the body. For example, nicotine. Nicotine can make you feel more relaxed, but long term, it could cause cancer. Um, yes, and then cocaine makes you feel more motivated, rush of energy, but long term, it's not good for you. Um, it can cause like a depressing crash and suspicious behavior. Meth, um, meth is another drug, and yeah, it feels good temporarily, but then afterward, it can cause like insomnia, seizures. Ecstasy is also a hallucinogen. It makes you feel euphoric, but it can also get you dehydrated, um, cause you to overheat, and yeah, some problems with just overall your immune system and your body. Um, Hallucinogens are drugs that make you see things that aren't there. For example, LSD gives you a visual trip, but because of that, it could also cause a panic attack. And marijuana is another drug that could make you hallucinate. Um, yeah, so that's pretty much it.